Impact of New York's prison strike earlier this year continues to have an impact on local facilities. Thank you for joining us at 5:30. I'm Darren Perrin. Severe staffing shortages are proving costly for places like the Clinton County Jail. Tonight, Plattsburgh Bureau Chief Alec Lasham investigates the after effects of the strike that saw the loss of more than 2,000 corrections officers.
More and more inmates are heading to state prisons after sitting in county jails for months in New York. The sheriff I spoke with said it's a backlog that's causing a strain on the jail and local taxpayers.
Our medical budget is exhausted. Our overtime budget is exhausted.
Clinton County Sheriff Dave Favreau says 2 vans full of inmates were sent out to state prisons last week, bringing their Department of Corrections bound transfers down to 7. He says that's a far cry from how many inmates they were holding for the Department of Corrections and Community Supervision, or DOCS, just weeks ago.
A week to 10 days, they moved them pretty quickly. There were a couple anomalies, but not many, and I believe it's because they get 10 free days and they take advantage of those 10 free days, and they moved them out. Now we're seeing it could be months before these inmates get moved out. So the cost is significantly higher.
Favreau says those higher costs are a result of more medical and food expenses for inmates. He says they get reimbursed by DOCS $100 per day for inmates housed at county jails after 10 days. But that it isn't enough. A spokesperson with DOCS says they paused the intake of inmates during the onset of the strikes in mid-February. They started taking them again earlier this year. The months-long slow roll comes as DOCS looks to hire and retain corrections officers after the mass firing. They say so far they've had a 160% increase in people taking the corrections officer exam, while also rehiring some former corrections officers like the ones that worked at the Clinton County Jail.
We hired 3 state COs that were working at Dannemora, and they worked here for a period of time, but then the state reached out to them to hire them back and get them back working. I don't know what the terms and conditions were, but they all felt that it was necessary, that they needed to go back.
Despite rehiring and new recruitment initiatives like lowering the age to 18, roughly 2,600 National Guard members still remain in state prisons. As of September, data shows there are roughly 11,300 corrections officers at state prisons. In 2024, that number was just over 14,000.
We already are at lower numbers that are too low, for my opinion. I have to make sure I can replace the National Guard, but also increase the overall correction officer population.
Without the National Guard, state prisons would have the highest inmate to correction officer ratio since 2014, nearly 3-to-1, which is why Governor Kathy Hochul says they likely won't leave anytime soon.
It's not overnight. It's not even in the next 6 months. It's going to take some time, but we're going to get it right. I'm committed to that.
Reporting in Plattsburgh, Alec Lasham, Channel 3 News.